Mm-hmm.
with August, what do you feel like you were looking for?
I just wanted to feel good.
Mm-hmm.
It had been so long
Mm-hmm.
since I felt good.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really a joy to just help heal somebody.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes 42, 12 to 13. Behold, not everybody's beauty, and sit not in the midst of women. For from garments cometh a moth, and from women wickedness.
Yeah.
Right. In other words, you got to limit the time that you're around your woman, man.
Yeah, the kind of guy that's always up under your woman. Let me tell you something. When you up under a woman or with a women, it makes you.
Rastafari embrace the Lord, judgment, as he have judged, judgment, remember the eye. I lost respect for all here.
She's a slut. She's a slut. You're 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 a slut. Because you got them. You got these clown ass motherfuckers on YouTube. You fucking assholes. You fucking pussy whooped ass niggas talking about you can't talk like that to a woman. Fuck you and fuck these black bitches. Listen up. Listen up. Listen up. Listen up.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 26. And I find more bitter than death the woman, whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleaseth the Most High shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. Behold, this have I found, saith the preacher, counting one by one, to find out the account, which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all those have I not found. Okay? Call halal Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Akah HaKadosh. Send double honors to the apostles and elders. Great millstone. Much peace, love, and salutations to you. I'm out there pushing the words of sincerity and truth. This is Brother Ariala. In this lesson, I want to talk about two brothers, man, especially young brothers that are, coming into the truth. You might be single. You want to stay savage. You want to stay in what, this term called savage. We call it savage mode. You know what I mean? But, of course, from a spiritual sense, for brothers that may be married, you still want to stay in that mode as well. You want to stay in a savage mode. We live in a fallen society. We live in a society where there are no helpmeets. You do not have a helpmeet. You have a situation. You can keep it and deal with it and make it the best it can be. But you need to keep it in the forefront of your mind to stay in a mode of what we call savage or alpha, Genesis 2:18 says, and the Lord power said, it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helpmeet for him. And when you look up this word helpmeet, it says it's basically someone who is suitable or fit for you. Basically they bounce off who you are and increase your enterprise. Women today are not trained up in that mindset. You might have a girl and she might be cool, and you might be married, she might be cool to a certain extent, and you deal accordingly. But overall, you want to make sure that you maintain the understanding that the purpose for marriage is to increase in this world. That was the reason why the Most High set this up, so you can increase your enterprise and duplicate yourself through your sons and your children, okay, and increase. But we're not here for that. And women in this society, through feminism and through the basically Western culture, have not been taught to be a helpmeet for anybody. They've been taught to basically maximize their situation to the best that they can. They basically have satellite men that they deal with. They deal with all types of men, and they choose which one they want for that time that can best benefit their situation. and they go from there. And you have to keep this in mind, man. Even if you do have a woman, she's looking for the benefit for herself more than what she probably even let you know. So you have to keep in the mindset that you're not getting emotionally attached to that situation. Why? Because it can slow you down. It can have you out here looking hurt. All right. It can have you out here basically getting off your square and the purpose for what you're supposed to be into and what you're supposed to be, working on, man. Ecclesiastes 12:13 says, "Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man." All right. And so you got to make sure that you're staying in that mode and staying in that kind of like that savage mode, especially when dealing out here with these women. If you're young, highly suggest that you don't get into a long-term serious relationship, because that's not really what is. It's really not even if you wasn't in the truth. Even if you wasn't in the truth, if you was just trying to maximize your situation and be on point, you don't want a woman holding you back, man. And for the most part, most of these women out here are not looking to help you out. They're looking for themselves. They're not looking to be a helpmeet. There are no helpmeets. There are no helpmeets out there, bro. There's some women that is chill, they cool. You can basically imprint them. You can put your spirit on them, and they'll listen. But when it gets outside of what they want and how they want it, they're not looking to be to glorify you. They want to make sure that they're getting it for themselves. They're not trained up like the scriptures have said. You know what I'm saying? So now when we read here in 1 Corinthians, you know what? Let's go to 1 Corinthians 7 and you know what? 1 Corinthians 11, and I'm going to start at 2, then I'll just read on down, okay? It says, "Now I praise you, brethren, that you remember me in all things and keep the ordinances as I have delivered them to you. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Hamashiach is the Most High. Every man praying and prophesying, having his head covered, dishonor his head. But every woman that prayeth or prophesied with her head uncovered, dishonoreth her head, for that is even all one as if she were shaven. For if the woman be not covered, let her also be shorn. But if it be a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaven, let her be covered. For a man indeed ought not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image and glory of the Most High, but the woman is the glory of the man." Okay, so the woman is supposed to be the glory of the man, meaning she's feeding into the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua through her man, through him, and her works and what she's doing to build up that household, to build up what's going on in that situation, literally leads to the glorification of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But that's a mindset and that's an intentionality that has to be trained and groomed from a time a person is very, very young when they first come out. This world does not groom and train women to be in that spirit. And for you to try to do that on this side while doing this ministry and everything like that, it can literally take you off your course in the work of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Okay? So you have to be mindful of maintaining a mindset of increasing what you're supposed to be doing in the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua and increasing yourself. Don't be chasing around a whole bunch of women. All right? Even one woman. The woman is supposed to chase you. You have to keep your mind single and focused and not be distracted by trying to force women to do something that's not literally is not even inside of their DNA anymore to do on this side. Because women are not taught to glorify the man. They're taught to get what they need out of the situation and maximize that. Because they think that they're equal in that way. They think they have the same rights and access to Yahweh Shem Yahushua as you do, even though the scriptures say completely opposite. We just read it. But that's not going to register on this side with these women. So as a man, you wanting to create and have this helpmeet, And you focused on that situation when it's really just getting you off of your task and purpose of what you're supposed to be doing. And 9 times out of 10, and usually 10 times out of 10, and if you just focus on what you're supposed to be doing, if you have a woman that's somewhat if you have put your spirit on her somewhat, that situation will line itself up how it needs to be. But when you're catering to a woman and you're stopping what you're doing, you put yourself as a servant to that woman, and she won't respect you after that. Number one, and you're going to be falling off from what you're supposed to be doing. You're going to be falling off from your duties in the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. Okay? So you must maintain savage mentality, even if you are in a marriage. You must maintain that alpha spirit. Verse 8 says, "For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man." These women today don't believe that. They believe that they have an independent move and process outside of that. To come underneath that energy and that spirit takes a tremendous amount of humility. You have to remove the narcissistic nature and always wanting to get validation, which that's why these women have multiple partners. That's why they're always on social media, because they need constant validation. Okay, and when you pouring yourself into doing that, what are you doing? You're getting off your square. Okay, getting off of your square. So you have to make sure that you maintain a savage mindset when dealing with women. And the scriptures is constantly telling us these things, and we see these examples. You know, I posted the clip of this whole situation with Jada Pinkett and Will Smith, because that was a huge point, I think, for a lot of men across the world that saw how you can have all these things going on for yourself, and still these women, they're not underneath men like that, even though you know, handsome, rich, successful, got all these things going on, changing people's lives, you know, leaders of men, you know, doing all of these things. But these women want what they want. They want to be happy. They want to feel good in the way that the scriptures are not even having prescribed it. They should be feeling good with working within what you have built, working within the house for you, and basically, like the scripture says, that the woman is the glory of the man. Just like we're the glory of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, we go out to confess and build the house of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. The women are supposed to work to build that kind of like that house in that image with you. And that should be their chief duty and their mindset, and that should bring them pleasure and happiness. But it doesn't bring them pleasure and happiness because they're not in that spirit. They're in the spirit of what about me? What do I get? You know? What if we was in that spirit where Yahweh Shem Yahushua? What about me? What do I get? No, we're in the spirit of we have to sacrifice for Yahweh Shem Yahushua to build his house, to build his kingdom, to confess his name, to glorify him in the heavens and in earth. A woman is supposed to glorify you through her actions, through her duties, through her sacrifice, and have that mindset and have all joy doing it. Is that happening, bros? No. So you young, you out there, and you first in this truth, you need to make sure that you understand the nature of how this world is, and you don't get caught up, because we all get caught up in certain situations. But the Most High said that all of these things are going to be brought back to us if we do our job, if we do what we're supposed to do. Matthew 19 and 26 says, "But Yahushua beheld them and said unto them, With men this is impossible, with the Most High all things are possible. Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? And Yahushua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And every one that have forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life. But many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first." And so, yeah, man, to put this truth at the forefront as the chief priority of what you got going on, you're going to have to forsake all of these things. Things that are near and dear to you. Your house, brother, sister, father, and even your wife, man. Even your rib, so to speak. What does that mean, forsaking them? They're not the chief priority of what you got going on in your mindset. Your chief priority is to build the kingdom of heaven on earth. And what's the kingdom of heaven on earth? The men. The men. Confessing, teaching this word, that's the chief thing. So these other people that are around you are going to feel neglected. They're going to feel like you don't care about them. They're going to feel separated from you. They're going to, maybe resent how you are. Maybe resent where you spend your time, who you give your attention to, who you laugh with, who you building with. But because they're not actively in the mindset of the kingdom like that. They're thinking about right now what they want right now for them. You're thinking about the future. You're thinking about what's not yet seen. And that's why it's weakness to other people. The men of the Lord are future-minded, thinking about when Yahushua returns. Your wife and women and everything like that, they're thinking about right now, present. So you have to keep it in your head. You can't allow that resentment or the issues that might come along with conducting yourself within this ministry to distract your course, to distract, how fervently you're fighting for what you're fighting for. You got to stay in that savage mode, stay on your purpose, and make sure you're building yourself within the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua on every level. And those things will come to you 100-fold even once the Lord returns. Okay? Because we all get distracted. I know I have, other brothers have, and we've seen two things that take people out. Men, money and women. So we always have to make sure that we, calibrate ourselves and say, okay, what's the overall mission? What's the overall goal? If you're young in this truth, bro, get into this truth, get into this word, do what you're supposed to do within the ministry. You know what I'm saying? Stay focused on that. But the woman can't love you on this side. They don't know how. They literally don't know how. They don't know how to be a helpmeet. And you trying to stop and teach a woman how to do something that you don't even know. You don't know how to make her a helpmeet. She ain't, and there's only a limit to that. Because there's only certain things that she's going to put up with in this world because she feels entitled. Why? Because feminism in this world taught her to be entitled since she was a little bitty baby. Just like we putting off the things that this world has taught us and coming into the scriptures and coming into this knowledge and learning to glorify Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Women, they don't know how to glorify you like that. So you have to keep that in mind, bro. They can't love you like that. They think that they can. But there's only a limit to it. Because they got the world up in them. Now, 1 Corinthians 7:29, it says, "But this I say, brethren, the time is short. It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none." All right? And, this is an admonition or exhortation from Paul. He's saying you got to stay in savage mode. You can't be all thinking, lovey-dovey with your wife and y'all going to just frolic into the sunset. And it's not the purpose of this ministry, bro. The time is short. The increase in this world is not edifying. What need for you to focus on is the increase in the next world to come, because this world is going to pass away. And how we live here and our marriages here, we don't know. Most High has that reserve how that's going to go down. So you emotionally investing yourself too much into that will throw you off your square. And I'm speaking this from experience and from the teachings that I've had from the apostles and the elders. What they said has been true and right. There are certain things that the apostles and the elders have said that they told me 10 years ago that I didn't even understand until the last few years, because I had to go through experiences. I was naive. So this lesson is built around brothers that may be in that type of situation. Okay? Verse 30 says, "And they that weep as though they wept not, and they that rejoice." And for the women that's listening to these lessons, it's not meant for you to get all puffed up and get all butthurt about it, man. If you sincere and you trying to do the best that you can, hey, good job. Keep going. But for some reason, it's cool for us to tell the men that they're not perfect and they need to work on themselves. But when we say that about the women, you know, and that's why these lessons are more built and catered towards the men, because that's what this is about, man. The glorification of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Okay. Verse 30 says, and they that weep as though they wept not, and they that rejoice as though they rejoice not, and they that buy as though they possess not, and they that use the world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away. You have to keep that in mind. You got to keep the main thing the main thing. Okay? It says, but I would have you without carefulness. He that is unmarried, care for the things that belong to the Lord, how he may please the Lord. But he that is married, care for the things that are of the world, how he may please his wife. And that is so true, man. That is so true. Because it's an inevitability. A woman is going to want to make sure that this present situation is ideal and comfortable and happy. And she, instant gratification, so to speak. That's why Eve did what she did. They're the weaker vessel. They want right now to be. And they go crazy when they can't have it. And women are not mature in the spirit. That's why you can't even be around your woman when she's on her period, man. Because they're literally not in the spirit. And so they be tripping. You have to get away. But you have to know that that's what's going on, so you don't get off what you're supposed to be doing, and you start acting like a female, and you start getting all emotional, and you start getting out of the spirit because you are focused on this woman instead of being focused on Yahweh Shem Yahushua, building yourself, doing what you're supposed to be doing, grinding and growing. Do that, and everything else will take care of itself. And I have to remind myself, and this is a reminder, for us to make sure that we stand on point with that, okay? There is difference also between a wife and a virgin. The unmarried woman care for the things of the Lord, that she may be holy both in body and in spirit. But she that is married care for the things of the world, how she may please her husband. And this I speak for your own profit, that I may cast not that I may cast a snare upon you, but for that which is comely, and that ye may attend unto the Lord without distraction. Okay? And this is an admonition to the young bros. If you young in this thing, man, don't be, trying to seek out to try to make these hoes housewives and stuff like that. Shit ain't gonna work, bro. Okay? You scouring the earth to find that one good one, when you need to just be focused on building yourself, man. And usually, if the Most High wants you to have somebody to come along with you, he'll send her. But if you hunting for that first in the world, he ain't gonna give you that. He gonna keep giving. You gonna keep getting them scraps, and that's mostly what the world is filled with. It's just throwaway hoes. And you have to keep that in your mind. 99% of these women are just pump and dumps, hoes. Multiple partners, always online, talking to multiple men, getting digged down by multiple people. And yeah, it sucks that, it's just the reality of the situation, bro. So you got to stay in savage mode, meaning you got to stay in the mindset of, let me just focus on this truth. Let me just focus on improving myself and working with these brothers that have been placed around me through the spirit. You might be by yourself. You might have a camp by yourself. Just focus on building yourself, building the camp, doing what you're supposed to be doing, reading, learning, listening, teaching, work, grind, work out, eat right. When it comes to women, stay in a savage mode. Don't be getting all entanglements. Don't be worried about all that, bro. It's gonna throw you off your course. It's just true. It sucks. Because your natural flesh is like, man, we get a woman, we get a girl, feels good. But even in that situation, you're going to have several times where it's just like, you see that your mindset within the truth and her mindset, it don't match. Why? Because women are not taught to be helpmeets. They're not taught to glorify you fully like that and look at you like that. They think that they're independently equal, and what they bring to the table is the same thing you bring to the table as far as the truth, as far as a man. They think that. They think they have the same rights and access as you through the spirit. And they're going to come at you like that. And then when you start catering to a woman, and you start and you start bowing down to her like that, and you stop being that savage, you will never be respected. She can't respect that. Okay? Sirach, chapter 26. I'm going to read the top and then I'm going to skip on down and keep reading. It says, "Blessed is the man that have a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be double. A virtuous woman rejoiceth her husband, and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace." All right? A good wife is a good portion, which shall be given in the portion of them that fear the Lord. You have to stay on your purpose. You have to stay on fear the Lord and keep his commandments and doing his duties. It says, "Whether a man be rich or poor, if he have a good heart toward the Lord, he shall at all times rejoice with a cheerful countenance." Okay? And that's how a woman is supposed to be with you. Whether rich or poor, she should rejoice at all times, being cheerfully, glorifying, being your glory. But that's not true on this side. When a woman doesn't get what she wants, or if a situation is not right for too long of a time, they either bounce or they start tripping. And that pulls you down. That slows down your process. That slows down the work that you got going on. But you have to remain in a savage mode to where even if that stuff is going on, you just keep it moving. Okay? It says there are three things that my heart feareth, and the fourth I was so afraid: the slander of a city, the gathering together of an unruly multitude, and a false accusation. All these are worse than death. But a grief of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman, and a scourge of the tongue which communicateth with all. And boy, is that true? You know, if your woman gets jealous of another woman, you know, whatever it got going on, the whole house would be tore up. Okay? Why? Because women are not taught to just be helpmeets in this society. They literally account what they can get, what's going on, what they can control. Okay? And it's just true. It says, "An evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro, and he that hath hold of her is as though he held a scorpion. A drunken woman and a gatter abroad causes great anger, and she will not cover her own shame. The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. If thy daughter is shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty." Okay? "Watch over an impudent eye, and marvel not if she trespass against thee." Don't marvel if she come against you, bro. It says, "She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he hath found a fountain, and drink of every water near her. By every hedge will she sit down, and open her quiver against every arrow." Okay? These hoes is hoes. These hoes is hoes. Okay? They've been getting busted down since they was in high school, some in junior high. And, and it's been going on ever since. Okay? "The grace of a wife delighteth her husband, and her discretion will fatten his bones. A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. A shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace, and her continent mind cannot be valued. As the sun when it rises in the high heaven, so is the beauty of a good wife in the ordering of her house." That's supposed to be the main idea, the main function of a woman is to glorify her man within the house. However, that's supposed to go down. But on this side, women don't have that mindset in general. It's just not what it is. Okay? You have a situation where your wife is cool, definitely that's good. You deal with her the best you can, but you always have to keep it in your mind. I must stay on my mission. I must stay on point. I must stay in savage mode. You stay growing. You keep your eyes on the overall vision. You cannot have your eyes set on her. Okay? Because it's really, really true that in any moment she might say, "Hey, I don't want to build this house no more. I'm tired of it." just like a person falling out the truth. You know what I mean? So you got to stay on your mission. You got to stay on your grind. You got to stay in just straight, hey, man, let's get it. All right? All right, so let's skip down to verse 22. It says, a harlot shall be counted as spittle, but a married woman is a tower against death to her husband. A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord. A dishonest woman contemneth shame, but an honest woman will reverence her husband. Very, 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 very rare to find that. Okay? It's meant for the kingdom. That's why Paul was like, man, those that have wives, be it though they have none. Why? Because you're giving up this world for the next world to come. And a woman is for the world. A woman is for growth in the world. And women are not set in that mindset. Women are set to eat, take. Okay? Now, she might be cooking and cleaning and all this, but don't get it twisted. And this right here is a hard place because it feels like a gray area right now. Because it is. We live in a fallen world. Okay? Verse 25 says, a shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord. A woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all, but she that dishonoreth him in her pride shall be counted ungodly of all. Okay? So you have to maintain that mindset as we go through this captivity. And even if you're in a relationship with a woman, or if you're single, I highly suggest you stay in that mode and you stay in grind mode. Get yourself together. Get your situation right. You know what I mean? Keep it that way. If you are married, though, you deal the best you can. You teach, and control it. You put your spirit on the woman. She's there to help. Cool. But you need to make sure that you're not losing focus. You're not being taken off course by a woman. And we always, if you have a wife or you have a situation, you're going to have them ups and downs. Because stuff is going to happen. See, it's an inevitability, man. Okay? Why? Because there are no helpmeets. Not like that. Not on this side. We're waiting for that. That's what we're fighting for. We're fighting to have that, to be able to have that increase and to be able to fully express ourselves and have those relationships. Here, you still have to hide. Here, you still have to tippy-toe and walk on eggshells, because if you piss her off, it can mess up your whole situation. Because women have control in a way that the scriptures never defined for it to be so. And all these men that's trying to front like they got it like that, it's just all lies. And we see it, bro. We see it. It's just evident. It's just true. Okay? We see it all day. You try to really be, get into the mode of a man in this truth, bro. All hell break loose. So you gotta deal with it the best you can, and it's just the situation that we live in. It's just a situation that's really out there in the world. And we're waiting for Yahweh Shem Yahushua to return and have everything all corrected and put in the place that it needs to be. So I had a few more scriptures, but Lord willing, that was edifying, man. Call halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakah Kadash. Double honors once again to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Much peace, love, and salutation to your Akim out there pushing the words of sincerity and truth. Of course, if you have more scriptures, please post them in the comment board, man. And on to the next one, Shalom.